Welcome back to another instalment of New Zealand's Bird of the Week, where in this video I will be talking about the North Island's Kokako, very adept hoppers through New Zealand's canopy, and with a haunting song to boot. I hope you enjoy. Large songbirds at 40 cm in length and around 230 grams in weight when fully grown, North Island's Kokako have blue-grey bodies that, alongside their black masks covering their face, and their distinct blue wattles, makes for an appearance that makes them quite hard to forget or confuse with other birds. Their long legs help them run among branches, an activity that is boosted with short glides on their short and rounded wings, often being heard scampering around before being seen, which has led to their niche being described as being similar to flying squirrels in some regards. Their calls are especially notable, being a sustained and sonorous and almost haunting organ-like call, with them being a prime player in New Zealand birdsong where they survive. Their songs can often last for over an hour between pairs, among the longest known of any songbird in the world, also using frequent close contact calls made up of a toot sound. Said calls can also carry for kilometres, and like other native and endemic songbirds, their songs and how they sing them vary depending on the given population and region. Regarding their taxonomy, they are closely related to the at the present data deficient South Island Kokako, which is either barely clinging on or recently extinct in the genus Caleus. In the broader family of Coleidae, they collate closely with the also vulnerable saddleback and extinct huia, making up the group known as the New Zealand ottlebirds. They mainly feed on fruit and leaves, and on occasion flowers and nectar, alongside the occasional invertebrates for additional sustenance or when the opportunity arises, or when to feed young. When it comes to their breeding, birds will typically do so in a relatively short time frame, between November and February, with them typically raising one brood at a time, though this can be extended a further 2 months and with more broods if food supply remains high. Their nests are simple, cup-like structures which are laid on average 13 metres above the ground, with 2 or 3 pinkish eggs being laid, and after their hatching, fledging after about 32 to 37 days old. Once they do so, young birds will often remain in their parents' territory for a further few months to a year to be fed and to further get their bearings, with them then often travelling many kilometres around local territories before settling. After years of habitat degradation and introduced predator predation, Kokako populations are today pretty fragmented, mainly persisting in the heavily forested areas of the central North Island, such as around to Urawera, where they prefer the areas of tall native forests which are dominated by taua. Predation at their nests, mainly by ship rats and possums, is the primary cause for their decline and local extinction in many areas, the latter also competing with the birds for food. Their vulnerability to them is further compounded by the fairly long fledging times, largely consistent with other endemic New Zealand birds, which makes them vulnerable for longer, when other birds would have been well on their way and more active 10 to 20 days earlier than they are. To both maintain their current populations and to boost them, several key populations are monitored by several community groups, with new populations having been established to increase their genetic diversity and health. Notable areas including Little Barrier, Kapiti and Tiritiri Matangi Islands, which have in some areas have up to 400 pairs on them. Their numbers because of this have managed to rebound in a good amount of areas, with them recovering well from a low of 330 breeding pairs to now well over 2,000, assisted greatly by predator control either through trapping or 1080 droppings. Sites with active predator control have seen increases of up to 50% each year, and if this continues, their songs may once again echo throughout the North Island, and this time around will do so with our support. And with that, I thank you for watching this instalment of New Zealand's Bird of the Week. For next time, you are able to vote for the spotted shag, medium-sized seabirds which have elegant and bright facial skin and elaborate feathering. With that, I'll see you next time, whenever that may be.